Sean Diddy Combs just got hit with the kind of courtroom bombshell that can destroy a legacy overnight. On day 19 of his federal trial, a hotel security guard stepped forward and revealed something no one saw coming: a secret $100,000 payment to bury a video so damaging it could bring down Diddy's entire empire. But this wasn't just any video. This was the one prosecutors say exposes everything: the violence, the fear, and the alleged cover-ups behind one of hip-hop's biggest names. And it's just the beginning. It happened in 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. Surveillance footage, now at the center of Diddy's trial, captured what prosecutors call a brutal assault. Cassie Ventura, a rising singer and Diddy's then-girlfriend, was seen on camera trying to flee what she later described as one of his drug-fueled freak-offs, but she didn't make it far. Diddy followed her into the hallway, grabbed her, threw her to the ground, and kicked her before dragging her toward the room. In court, Cassie said, "When I chose to leave, I grabbed what I could and I got out." But Diddy made sure that escape wouldn't be easy. Years after that violent night, the man who watched it all unfold on the hotel security cameras finally broke his silence. Eddie Garcia, a former security guard at the Intercontinental, took the stand and revealed a secret deal that stunned the courtroom. According to Garcia, Diddy was desperate to keep the footage hidden, not just from the public, but from the law. He called Garcia personally, sounding panicked, saying the video could ruin him. Diddy offered to take care of Garcia, and within days, handed over $100,000 in cash for what he believed was the only copy of the footage. Garcia testified that Diddy called him Eddie my angel, and even had him sign a non-disclosure agreement under threat of $1 million penalty. To seal the deal, Diddy even FaceTimed Cassie to convince Garcia that she wanted it buried too. Garcia described the exchange like something out of a crime thriller. He was told to drive to an apartment about 20 minutes from the hotel. When he arrived, Diddy's bodyguard brought him upstairs, and there was Diddy, smiling, relaxed, calling him Eddie my angel, as if they were old friends. The room was calm, even cozy. Diddy offered him tea and made small talk, but it was clear the deal had to happen fast. Garcia handed over the thumb drive and assured him it was the only copy. Then, Diddy pulled out a brown paper bag and began feeding stacks of cash, $10,000 at a time, into a money counter. In total, $100,000 in cold, hard cash. Before he left, Diddy warned him, no big purchases, no slip-ups. Weeks later, Garcia received a text from Diddy. It read, "Happy Easter, Eddie my angel, God is good." Then he asked if anyone had asked about the video. To prosecutors, that $100,000 wasn't just hush money, it was a bribe, plain and simple. And they say it's not just about silencing one man or hiding one night. In their eyes, this payment is part of a much bigger picture, a years-long criminal operation run through Diddy's empire. They claim the video's exposure would have pulled back the curtain on everything from coerced sex and violent threats to a calculated effort to protect his image at any cost. That single transaction, they argue, proves Diddy wasn't just covering up a mistake, he was trying to bury a piece of evidence that connected to a pattern of exploitation and abuse. And that's why this trial isn't just about violence, it's about racketeering, sex trafficking, and the claim that behind the music mogul was a criminal network built to control women and silence anyone who got in the way. To strengthen their case, prosecutors brought in Derek Ferguson, Diddy's former chief financial officer. For over a decade, Ferguson had access to the inner workings of Bad Boy Entertainment. On the stand, he walked jurors through Diddy's complex financial maze: accounts, wire transfers, company reimbursements. But one set of transactions stood out: a $20,000 payment in 2011 sent to Cassie Ventura's mother. Ferguson claimed he didn't know why it happened, but the Ventura family did. Cassie's mother testified that Diddy demanded reimbursement for money he'd spent on Cassie, furious over her rumored relationship with another rapper, Kid Cudi. The family feared what Diddy might do, especially after he allegedly threatened to release explicit videos of Cassie. They paid, terrified, and then, just days later, Diddy sent the money back, as if to say, "Message delivered." As more witnesses stepped forward, the accusations became harder to ignore. One woman, Brianna Bongolan, testified that Combs once threatened her life by holding her over a balcony, a terrifying moment that allegedly happened right in front of Cassie. In another instance, she claimed he lost control and threw a sharp object in Cassie's direction. Prosecutors argue these weren't isolated outbursts, but signs of a disturbing pattern: fear, control, and silence. Former staffers echoed these claims, saying they were often sent to buy supplies for what Combs called freak-offs, including gallons of baby oil, alcohol, and other party materials. According to the prosecution, this wasn't just excess, it was an organized setup, a controlled environment where boundaries blurred, and the goal was always the same: power without consequence. Diddy's defense team didn't stay silent. They called on longtime insiders like Derek Ferguson to challenge the prosecution's narrative. Ferguson, with nearly 2 decades working closely with Diddy, insisted he never saw any criminal activity or threats tied to the business. On the stand, he was firm: no evidence of violence, no signs of intimidation, and nothing that suggested the company was involved in illegal acts. But while his testimony aimed to cast doubt, the prosecutors argue that Ferguson's role was limited to finances, not the dark undercurrents behind closed doors. And with multiple witnesses describing threats and payments designed to silence victims, the jury is left to decide: is this just a troubled empire, or something far more sinister? Day 19 of the Diddy trial revealed a web of secrets, from hush money to haunting threats, that could redefine everything we thought we knew about the music mogul. The jury now faces a difficult decision: is this a man unfairly targeted, or the head of a hidden criminal empire? If you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates as the trial unfolds. What do you think will happen next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.